You were my courage, my sword and shield, grace under pressure, my wall of steel. I was a stone weighing us down. You were the angel I chained to the ground. I missed the way.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, hi, my name is Maya, and today I'm going to be doing kind of like a Q&A. These are questions that a lot of people get asked when they're pregnant, but these are also going to be questions that I have gotten from people, not necessarily on social media, but just people who are like my friends and stuff who have asked me these types of questions. So I decided I would write down some of them that come to my mind that I remember that people have asked me, or that other people get asked quite frequently, and just kind of answer them, if that makes sense. I would ask you guys Q&A questions, but nobody really asks me questions. But a lot of people do ask me questions on my Lively about Little Man and like for me, but I always forget about those questions. So anyways, I'm just going to stop rambling and get right on with the video. I'm really sorry if you guys noticed that one of my eyes is super swollen. This one, I had an allergic reaction. I'm allergic to dogs, and I had my puppy in my room. But for like the past few months, I haven't had an allergic reaction to him, so I was like, oh, I'll just spend some time with him. Didn't go over well, but I'm sorry if that kind of bugs you, but I can't really do anything about it. So if I look down, it's because I have my notebook that has questions written on them. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. How old are you? Is your boyfriend and you? I don't really know how to speak today. So I am 17. I will be 18 in November, and my boyfriend is 29. No, that sounds kind of bad, guys. But trust me, it is 3 years difference, nothing more. And he turns 21 in April, this upcoming April. He's excited because he can finally drink. Again, that might sound bad, like he might seem like really way older than me, but he's actually only 3 years difference. So if we weren't 3 years difference, I probably wouldn't be dating him. Well, I probably would, but you know. When is my due date? My due date is July 17th of 2018. But me and Alan are both hoping that Little Man is born 2 days early. I know that might sound kind of weird that we're hoping for him to come early, but the reason for it is if Grayson comes 2 days early, we will be having Grayson on me and Alan's 1-year anniversary, and it would be awesome if Grayson was able to be born on our 1 year. It would just be like the best 1 year. Like, we'd bring our little boy into the world, and it just seems like a really fun Where am I from? I am from New York. I'm not going to say specifically where in New York, because you could probably very easily find out where I live if I told you where in New York I live. But I don't live in New York City. I will give you guys that much. Do I ever get any mean comments, and how do I deal with them? So I don't really get mean comments on like posts and stuff that I do, like post on like Instagram and stuff. Nobody ever like posts mean things or anything. I did get one on my Musical.ly where some girl called me fat, and I was like, no, get your facts straight. I'm not fat. My child's just growing and being healthy. But besides mean comments, there are girls from my old school who do talk a lot of trash about me and talk behind my back, which some of them think I don't realize it. They actually talk about my YouTube channel, which I don't really care about. If you're gonna run your mouth, why would you say it behind my back? Like, if you have something mean to say to me, I'd rather you say it to my face. Like, but I don't really care. It's not affecting my life. I don't give a crap. When, like, I've dealt with people being so mean and all that kind of stuff to me, like, for, like, the past couple of years. So it's kind of just I've kind of just gotten so used to it now. When people who I've felt like never would cross me and would not say these types of things, and they do say mean things to me, that's when I do tend to get kind of hurt, because, like, that's somebody who you thought you could trust and everything, but clearly you didn't. But it still doesn't really, yeah, it might hurt my feelings, but I don't let it wear on me for the rest of my life, because I have my 2 guys who love me and are here for me through everything, and The next question is, what's the most pain I have been in during pregnancy so far? So, my pregnancy has been pretty easy. There have been a couple of things. I have two things that have been super duper painful with my pregnancy. One is relating with Grayson, and the other one is just me. So the first one is when I went to the hospital at 3 in the morning, thinking I had the flu severely badly. It was so painful. My body hurt. I couldn't sleep really. I would be like up and down sleeping. I had a really bad fever, and it was just really painful. Like, it wasn't like necessarily painful. It was just super duper uncomfortable. And the next thing is just the other day when I went to the doctors for a migraine, thinking it was a concussion, the shot that they gave me, whatever happened with the shot, that was extremely painful, not only for me, but also I started having really bad contractions. I'm also going to do an update of that so that you guys have an update kind of everything going on with me and Grayson since then. It's not going to be a weekly update. It's just going to be an update on the situation so that I don't really leave you guys in the dust. So the next question is, do I plan to go to college? I do plan to go to college, but I don't plan to go to like a normal building, like for like college, like a college campus and everything. I plan to do online college. I've been doing online high school for probably like 2 years now, probably. And I do plan to go to college so that I can have a good education, so that I can get a good job to support my family, my little family that I have, so that not only is my boyfriend trying to support me and the baby, I want to be able to support me and the baby too. So yeah, the next thing is, what is one thing I'm going to miss about being pregnant? So one thing that I'm probably going to miss after Grayson is born is being able to protect him in my stomach, because once he's out in the big world and I'm not like able to like completely shelter him in my stomach, I'm going to feel so protective over him. Now, I don't want to be one of those parents who are like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, because I grew up with very, very strict parents, and I don't want Grayson to feel like I'm just like hovering over him and being mean. Obviously, I will be protective in a good stance, but I do want him to be able to do things on his own and to be able to make decisions and make mistakes so that he realizes right from wrong. But I am definitely going to miss being able to protect him in my stomach from getting hurt. But I'm also going to miss feeling him move around. I've been feeling him move around a lot more lately, and it's awesome. I can't wait to be able to finally see it, like my stomach moving and stuff. That's something I'm excited to see when I can. The next question is, how was telling your parents? I want to do a good, like, big video on this and explain and talk to it, like go more into detail about it. But it was kind of a big thing telling my parents. I'll explain more about talking to Aylin's parent, like telling Aylin's parents more than mine, so that I can do like a big video for it. But basically, we just told his mom through text, and she wasn't really mad or anything. She was just kind of, I guess the word would be concerned, but she's super duper excited now. His sister is also pregnant, so his mom was already having a grandbaby, so now she's having another grandbaby, and she gets to have both a girl and a boy, and she was super duper excited when we told them it was a boy. Sorry, I cannot speak today. Pregnancy brain. Am I excited to be having a baby boy? I am so excited to have a baby boy. You guys have no idea. I called it from like the very beginning that we were having a boy. I never really called, like I started calling the baby Grayson and stuff. I've always like had it in my mind, it's a boy, I know it's a boy, and I've always wanted a boy first. Like, that has been my one thing that I've always wanted, is a boy first when I have kids. I also want a little girl, but I want a little girl later so that her big brother can protect her from everything. But I've always wanted a boy first, because I personally feel like taking care of boys is so much easier than taking care of girls. I've babysat both, and I've definitely noticed that babysitting a boy is 10 times easier than a girl, but obviously we're going to figure out if Grayson's going to be pretty easy to take care of or if he's going to be a pain in the butt. The next question is, did I ever consider adoption? I never for a second considered adoption. A lot of people thought that I should, like I said, oh, you should put the baby up for adoption just because of how young I am, and I didn't have a job and neither did the father, but I knew that I was not going to put Grayson up for adoption. It would literally break my heart, and abortion was definitely out of the picture. I was not going to have an abortion whatsoever. That would broken my heart too. I knew that me and Alan could do this. It might be rough and stuff, but Grayson will be will grow up and have everything he needs, and he'll have a great support system, and he'll have a great family to grow up with. Even if I'm young and still kind of immature and need to grow up a little bit, but it will happen, and I will be a great mom no matter what anybody says. What are some pros and cons of being pregnant? So some pros are the joys of just being able to go to your doctor's appointments and see your baby, like how much your baby has grown, and just being able to see that this is something that you made and you're protecting this little person. It's just amazing. Obviously it is harder to be pregnant when you're a teenager, and some cons I guess it would be is it can be stressful, especially if you have a lot going on in your life other than just being pregnant. It's stressful. I know I've had a lot of stress during my pregnancy, which is not good. But for the most part, I have been pretty good about not being stressed out. Now, I do have really bad anxiety and stuff like that, but I've been trying to keep it little as much as I can. Now, some days, obviously, things get harder than others, but some cons are definitely that it's stressful, and you have to give up a lot, but pros is that you're going to be able to have a little boy or girl in your life that you're going to be able to take care of as your own, and you're going to have your own little family. So the next one is, what are you scared about most with being a new mom? So the thing that I'm scared about most is probably making sure that he's happy and that I'm not going to mess up anything. Now, like I said, I have babysat a lot, so I do know quite a bit of what to do with babies, but when I babysat last for a baby girl, I did struggle a lot to figure out what she needed, and my mom would take her a lot of the time when she wouldn't stop crying, but I'm hoping that that's not going to be the case with Grayson, because I don't want to be that person who can't do it. But I'm probably scared. Yeah, that's probably what I'm scared about most, is not knowing what to do right away and just adjusting and getting stressed out, because when I get stressed out, I shut down, and I don't want to do that, so I gotta get over that. The next question is, did I see myself having kids before I had Grayson? Yes, I did want kids when I got older. Obviously, I did not see myself getting pregnant at 17. I was always that type of person who's like, I don't want to get pregnant at 17, but it happens. Accidents do happen no matter what. Things can happen. So, yeah. Do I want more kids after Grayson? These are all kind of like, the next one is also relating to more kids. Do I want more kids after Grayson? I would love to have more kids. I want a little girl. The most that I'm willing to have is 3, because I don't think I'd be able to stand having 4 kids. I might even stop at 2. Not 100% sure. Let's see how my sanity is. And the next one is, when do I want more kids? So I don't want more kids until, it's not like an age. It's not like really an age that I'm worried about of when I want more kids. Obviously, I want to be a little bit older before I have more kids, but I also want to be financially stable and have a place of my own and be able to buy everything for the little one by myself and be able to do things by myself without having to have other people buy them for me before having another one, because it is really a big step to have another kid and not being financially stable. It's already hard to find out you're pregnant and be like, oh, that's not something I'm ready for. So I definitely want to be financially stable and have a place of my own where we have the room, because right now me and Grayson are going to be smushed into this tiny room right here that's my bedroom. And on top of that, all of my boyfriend's stuff is at my house because he moved from where he was staying before, and all of his stuff is just kind of staying here until he gets to this new place that he's going to be staying at. So we're kind of smushed, and I'm trying to work the best that I can, but hopefully everything will pan out. The next question is, if I had to choose another name for Grayson, what would it be? This is a really hard question to answer because from the very beginning, when we decided to start looking for baby names, which was really early into my pregnancy, we were really stone set on Grayson. We weren't going to change his name. We never changed his name once, and we never looked at any other boy names. We were set in stone on Grayson, so I haven't really ever thought of another boy name. So I don't really know. That'd be really hard. Like, if I was told I can't have Grayson's name be Grayson, I'd probably panic and be like, what? But I can say for a girl's name, if we were having a girl and we couldn't use Coraline as her name, I would definitely go with Ava, because Ava was our beginning name for if we were having a girl. But we did have to change it to Coraline because somebody in the family had a little girl who was named Ava, and we didn't want the same person's name to be in like the same time year range. It was just gonna be kind of weird. So, what do I want to go to college for? So I have really set in stone what I want to go to college for. I was kind of up in the air of what I wanted to do for college before I got pregnant. But probably a few months into my pregnancy, I really set in stone, figured out what I wanted to do for college, and that is to go for cosmetology. Now, I know cosmetology might seem kind of weird thing to go for college for, because just working at a hair salon and stuff, they don't get paid very much. But if I can open my own business, I can really get quite a good amount of money from doing it, especially if I'm doing things for like prom and I'm doing all kinds of things like hair, makeup, nails, all of that kind of stuff. I can make a really good amount of money from doing that. And just how my friends talk about how I do their hair and their makeup and stuff, and they say how good it is, I really think that I have a chance to make a really good career from it. So that's why I really want to go to do school for cosmetology, because where I live, I left doing normal school before I had the chance to go do like anything for like what we have is a BOCES program, where you go for like extra things like cosmetology, culinary, and you do like hands-on things. So I never got to do that, and I can't do that with my schooling because my schooling takes place in Pennsylvania, and like I said earlier, I live in the state of New York, so kind of far. I can't really drive there every day for cosmetology classes, but I really do want to do stuff for that. Whew, got stuffy. The next question is, do I plan on co-sleeping? Now, I talked about this in my things I'm going to be doing with Grayson video, and I do not want to co-sleep because I'm not against it. Obviously, he will end up sleeping in my bed at some point, but one, my boyfriend is a very, very heavy sleeper, and two, I'm a very heavy sleeper. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, you're not going to be a heavy sleeper once your baby is here, but I know how that is with like my heavy sleeping going away with a baby, because I have slept in an environment where there is a baby around me, and I've woken up every time the baby like moves and stuff. But I don't trust myself to be having the baby in the bed with us. If it's just me, then maybe. But if Grayson is sick and some like that kind of stuff, then I will allow him to be in the bed with me, just so that he can be near me more and I'm making sure he's okay. But when Grayson is born, we do plan on having his pack and play right next to my bed. like literally up against my bed. We have a space cleared out for him, and he's going to go there. So he will be in a pack and play, and it's going to be rised up, so in the middle of the night I can see him and make sure he is okay. But I don't want to get him in the habit of sleeping in the bed with us, because I have also heard that it's so hard to break a baby's co-sleeping habits, because they're really fussy. So I just want him to get in the habit of sleeping on his own. Now, obviously, I'm not sure how that's going to go over, if I'm going to follow up with that or what, but hopefully I do stick to my guns and keep up with that. The next question is, how do I feel about putting Grayson into public school when he's able to start school? Me and Aylin have both agreed that we want Grayson to be homeschooled. Now, I have also talked about this in my previous video. If Grayson is hardcore wanting to go to public school, I am not going to say no to him. I will allow him to go. And if that year of homeschool or public school or month of public school, he changes his mind and says that it is not for him, I will take him back out. I don't want him to go through what I went through in high school, but obviously if he wants to see how high school or elementary public school is like, I will let him. But for now, we are set strong on having him homeschooled unless he says otherwise, that he doesn't want to be homeschooled. Now, daycare and preschool, I probably will send him to, and I'm kind of thinking I might send him to elementary school, depending on where we are around that time. Because where I went to elementary school, I had a lot of fun, but then high school hit and I wanted to be out of there. And that's probably like my one thing, is I don't want him to be in high school public school. I want him to be homeschooled, but obviously that will cross the line way down the road when that time comes. The next question is, what theme is for the baby's nursery? So we actually did change the theme. The theme was originally deer/wilderness creatures. I found some stuff online that I really, really liked, but since we weren't going to be able to have a normal crib and stuff, that was really the only like nursery things we found for the theme. So I did change his theme to whales and anchors, and honestly guys, I am so glad that I changed the theme. It is so cute with so much stuff that I found for him. We have anchors up above my mirror, and we have just so much. I'll show you guys in a minute after I stop talking. We have like baby washcloths and stuff like that with whales on it. The colors are navy blue, light gray, and white, or even just like a light blue is fine too. But I really have liked the navy blue, gray, and white. It's really fitted the baby. So I'll show you guys some of the stuff we have for him. Some of the stuff we already have is like these little flexible bibs that have whales on them. We have this little sponge, and it's just got like anchors and sea creatures and stuff all over it. We have this hooded towel, which is so cute. It's got a little whale on it. And then me and Aylin bought this blanket. It's so soft, but it has octopuses, whales, and anchors on it. And I've just like fallen in love with the theme, guys. It's so awesome. And his baby shower that we're planning is going to be so cute with all this themed stuff, so I'm so excited. So the last and final question is, why did I decide to keep Grayson? So I've talked about this earlier kinda, but I decided to keep Grayson because he's my little boy. I would never have the heart to put him up for adoption or to have an abortion. I knew it would be hard, but I knew that I would love him no matter what, whether I had all the support in the world, or if I was just on my own, I would love him no matter what. And I would raise him to know that times are struggling, and sometimes you can't always get what you want, but you got to make the most of what you have. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any more questions that you would like me to answer in a part 2 or part 3 or whatever you want to call it, question and answer, definitely leave them down below because I would love to answer them. Also, I go live pretty much every day on my Instagram account. I'll have it down in the description. So if you guys want to like talk to me and stuff on Instagram, I will be live once a day. Normally in the mornings when I'm getting ready for the day, like I'll be on. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye guys.
I always had that dream like my daddy before me. So I started writing songs, I started writing stories. Something about that glory just always seemed to bore me, 'cause only those I really